Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DeFiorio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by La Marzocco. They have been making espresso machines by hand in Florence, Italy since 1927. So, we're talking about almost 100 years of making espresso machines and espresso equipment for the masses of entrepreneurs and coffee retailers that have served their communities, and they need and wanted and received something that was tested, something that was dependable, beautiful, and innovative. And they have been keeping their legacy this whole time. And today you have machines like the KB90 with the straight-in locking portafilters, innovation in ergonomics. You've got the Linea classic design that has just become ubiquitous across the industry. Linea PB and all the configurations there that are technologically advanced for ultimate control over the extraction of your espresso. Leva espresso machine for pulling shots, literally like with the pulling motion. There's all sorts of machines you can choose from for your cafe's needs and aesthetic. And the most important thing is that these things, they work. They work so well, and that's what they take great pride in providing for the industry. Also, check out their Swan grinder that they've just come out with last year, debuted at the SCA in 2024. So I would encourage you, go to the website, lamarzocousa.com, and look there for more information. Reach out to them. Let them help you choose the right equipment for your cafe. Now, we're also supported today by Rattleware. Rattleware.com is where you can go to see all of the selection of different smallwares that they produce to make a big difference in your shop. The big difference is that they actually allow you to have confidence in the pitchers, the whisks, the knock boxes, the shot glasses, etc. That in aggregate, let's say use that word, like the whole cafe is run on the others big things. We just got done talking about an espresso machine, but what about the small things? When they don't work well, it really is annoying. This is what drives them at Rattleware, to make things that are resilient, that just work. So if you're looking for that in smallwares, then go check them out, rattleware.com. Now, today's episode, I wanted to talk about something that, again, is going to be relevant to you. We've been doing Shift Break for quite a long time. It's funny, when I started this, I'm not going to go down memory lane too much, so don't worry. One of the things that happened when I first started this conversation in the industry, or with the industry, that is, me recording this and then you listening to it and you telling me, hey, I like that. And sometimes people are like, yeah, I don't know about that. It is all just a step in the direction of, I think this is a good idea. We'll do that, right? So Shift Break was one of those things. Literally on the way back from work one day, I said, I would like to do a short format episode, just really quick. Call it Shift Break. And it just comes to you and you do it. And then it's surprising how it resonates with people. It's that little interaction in your brain that turns into a step of faith out in the community, and then it resonates with other people. And it wasn't something huge. It wasn't a business plan. I didn't have a board that I passed it by, but it worked. And a lot of the things that you do every day that are just kind of small, and they don't, in your mind, it's just like, oh, that's an interesting thing. Let's try that. Let's try this. These small actions that you take on a daily basis, and some of the ideas that come to you, they end up being really big deals. And then people will point to them and say, that really impacted me. What you did, what you said, the idea that you brought up, this stuff. I mentioned this because, and maybe it's tied into what I want to talk about today, but I mention it because you are working every day in a business that encourages you to focus on what's in front of you right now, which is great. But don't discount what was as though it was a waste. It is working. And it's still working in the minds and the hearts of the people that it touched. Today is a new day to work the fields, as it were, to create that same kind of a lasting legacy. Whether or not you get to experience viscerally the product of your work is sometimes, it's not up to us. Sometimes you get to see it, sometimes you don't. But we always have to say, look, that little idea turned out to be something big. How many other little things that we do are turning out to be big as well, but we just can't see them? Now, let's tie it into today. Vendor hospitality. Now, we are all talking about the hospitality we give to the customer. And hopefully, if you listen to this show, you're also concerned about how you not only do that for customers, but you also do it for your staff, your management team, your trainers, your baristas, everybody, right? That's what we consider, behind the bar and across the bar hospitality. But what about the vendors and partners that you have in the industry? The people that provide your milk, your donuts, your muffins, the paper goods, the UPS driver that picks up the packaged coffee, the whole crew of people that have their own businesses, or they work for other businesses, or they're delivery drivers. And this, there could be 30 in just the average cafe. There could be a lot of people involved in helping your cafe run, not just this immediate group of people. And I've been in coffee long enough to see those people treated poorly and treated well. And the word integrity is a word that means a truth of conviction and practice when there is nobody watching, basically. There's nothing on the line, and yet you still behave in a way that you say you believe in behaving. That means you have integrity. It's been pointed out to me that integrity can still be applied for bad behavior. It's true, but I think integrity always has sort of a positive connotation. So let's just use it in that way. The idea that, when it comes to staff meetings and to customers, we're super friendly, but sometimes we're rude to delivery drivers. But sometimes we're kind of a jerk on the phone when we're talking to somebody with the distribution company that messed up our order. When the chips are down and it's easy for us to fall to the lower self and we don't have the angel on our shoulder, who we are, kind of comes out a little bit, unless we have already thought ahead of time. There is there isn't this imaginary line where my hospitality and my convictions of values stop where paychecks stop, or at least employment, or people that are just vested in the business in a very direct and traditional way. We need to be applying these kinds of values that we say we have to vendors as well, if not just for the idea that you are being watched. The way you speak on the phone to somebody, if you just had a meeting with a barista or a staff person, and then you answer the phone in a bad way, or you choose somebody out, and it just feels like you went Jekyll and Hyde in that moment, that's just, it doesn't fit, right? And that's going to erode people's trust in your ability to assess them. Their trust in you and what you say is a value in the business. So we got to apply these things across the board, because the people who are vendors are providing a service to us. And that is something we should always be thankful for. Yeah, you're paying them. Okay. Yes, you have issues sometimes. People don't always, technically, like, do they deserve to be praised and treated well, even though they're treating your product poorly? Well, I think it's best for you to take the high road in that moment, to not let yourself go low when other people go low. Go high when people go low. It's just kind of a common phrase you hear, but in that moment, you'll be glad you did, because you're practicing the kind of person you will be when there are people who aren't pushing your buttons, who do deliver the milk without, having thrown them around in a way that made one of them leak. They pick up that order of coffee on time, and they do it regularly. I mean, you can go so far as to really show hospitality in a way that is generous to these people. Do you want a cup of coffee? I say grew up, I guess it means I'm old, but when somebody is there delivering the order, I always felt the freedom, and we were in the various places given the freedom to say, hey, do you want a cup of coffee or a lemonade or anything? It's hot outside. They've got, I don't care if they have the UPS shorts on, they probably need something, and it's up to us to treat them well, build good relationships in the community. It doesn't matter if it's a corporate entity like FedEx or UPS, or if it's a mom and pop shop or a cottage industry that makes hand sewed coffee sleeves for your cups. those people are contributing to your business, and they deserve, and I think they should receive, great hospitality from you. And so I think the message today is to say, take stock of how it is you are interacting with these people that are essentially kind of like customers of your business. You are joining with them and saying, we need your business to help us do our business. It's a partnership, and let's treat you as best as we possibly can. And that engenders a lot of goodwill, because in the future, let's just think about it this way. If you don't want to think of it just purely altruistically and with integrity at the forefront, think about it business wise. You want to have good business relationships for when maybe that company blows up and they get bigger and they have more influence in the community. Aren't you going to be a little bit ashamed of the way that you behaved when they are not really, giving you opportunities that may have, out of a sense of reciprocity, they extended back to you generosity, because all those years you supported their business and you were friendly, kind people, which is rare to find when, especially, you're talking about vendor relationships. It can be seen as purely transactional. And sometimes, especially when it's over the phone, it can be seen as an opportunity for you to just kind of vent, and go low. So I would say, look, hey, let's think about how we can treat everyone who is connected to our business, not just the baristas and customers, with respect, with integrity, and show them hospitality and generosity. And these things will come back to you, if not in the form of growing relationships in business in your community, then in the form of the integrity that allows you to more easily show that kind of generosity and hospitality to your baristas, to your staff. So that's all I have to say. Let's get some vendor hospitality going here and show how we can be hospitality professionals to everybody that we meet, no matter who they are. So that's it. Thanks, everyone. And as always, I will see you here next week on another edition of Shift Break, from keys to the shop.